Welcome to Shape the Podcast, a podcast all about maintaining mental health by sharing stories from those who have overcome negative experiences and feelings, then turned them into something positive. Meet your host.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Shape the Podcast. Everybody knows me by now, but if you don't, if you're new to this, I'm Kyle Waller. I'm one of the hosts of Shape the Podcast. My co-host, Jason Sewell, he is off tonight. He's enjoying dinner with his wife. The man is a busy man, and his wife asked him to go to dinner, so that's what he's doing. You know what they say, happy wife, happy life, right? But anyways, I hope you've all had a great week. But actually, I hope you've all had a great 2 weeks. If you did not catch the previous podcast, Mr. Jeff Ray was my guest that night. Well, our guest. And so you can go back and catch that on YouTube, which is Shape the Podcast for You. That's our YouTube channel. But man, welcome to May, Mental Health Awareness Month. You've seen me talk about it on the Shape the Podcast group page and the regular page, but you matter, right? That's what this month is about. It's about awareness. So those of you who are struggling, reach out, talk to somebody. But all right, so what to say about my guest tonight? I've known Angie a few years. All right, Angi Nehmer is my guest for the evening. She's a wonderful human being, bubbly as all get out. She is the ambassador for happiness. She is stepmom by day, crocheter by night, and soon to be a lolly. All right. So Angie's going to be my guest tonight. She's going to come on and share her story. Which is amazing because I don't know anything about it. I know a little bit about her, like the breeding side of things, but I don't know her actual story. She sent me the outline of her story, and she goes, "Oh, here's my outline," and all it said was, "Hi, my name is," and I'm like, "Huh." Obviously, she could not put down onto paper her story. So I told her that she could not make me cry. And she said that there's a 99% chance that she will make me cry. So we'll see how that goes. But hey, what's up, Brian Charms? Hello, sir. Brian says it's going to be May. No, it is May, okay? Justin Timberlake says it's May. It's May, okay? But so what's everybody else been doing? My wife, I know, is probably watching from the bedroom because she likes to start getting ready for bed this time of night because we're old. That's what old people do. Speaking of like old, we went to Amish country last weekend. It was great to get away for the weekend. And Berlin, Ohio did not disappoint. Ate some great food. Saw a lot of Amish riding bikes. Got a lot of cheese. But so that's what we did over the weekend. This weekend is closet clean out time. That's right. Closets are being cleaned out. Dressers are going to be cleaned out. The Goodwill is going to be happy. But yeah. And Brian Charms, I see he's watching. Brian had a birthday, right? This past Monday. Brian is a big 5-0. So happy birthday to Mr. Brian Charms. Love you, buddy. And I'll see you in a couple weeks. But, enough rambling. I told her I was going to wait and bring her on at 8:15. Well, I lied. I'm just going to go ahead and bring her on now, okay? Without further ado, my guest, Angi Nehmer. Hello.
Hello.
So I hope I
everybody.
buttered you up enough, by
It's perfect. It's perfect.
But welcome to the show. Thank you for finally saying, all right, it's my time to come on. You know, I know that you probably uh, needed to think about it and pray about it and all that good stuff, but
Yeah,
I
for
thank you for
sure.
coming on. Oh, look, Mr. Aaron D. Johnston,
Aaron, hi. Bestie for life.
they're in Florida right now.
I'm really jealous, but I live vicariously through them via Snapchat. Like, send me all the Snapchats. Like, I love it.
They're like
Oh my gosh.
they're down there for a AKA vacation, but also a beer competition, which is happening tomorrow. But they know you. I know you. Some other people that are watching know you. But for those who don't know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
Sure. Okay. So, hi, my name is Angi Nehmer. A lot of you know me before I was married as Angie Jones. Um, a lot of you know my dad, the infamous. I'm getting all the Snapchats right now, just so you know. um, my dad is Jim Jones. So, a lot of you know my dad through the bearding world. If you're in bearding, if you're not, yes, that's right. My dad's name is Jim Jones. You know, we always make the joke, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Ha
Yeah,
ha,
don't drink
funny.
the Kool Aid.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how you and I met through bearding.
It is.
Let's see. I am a mom of two and I have five stepchildren. So there are seven children in this house. I say children, but my kids are adults. So yeah. Um, that's a weird sentence to say. My
My,
children are
it's
adults. Yeah.
it's because we're old. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
happens.
I know.
That's what happens.
Um,
They don't stay young. They grow up.
They don't. It's so sad. But yeah. Oh, and May is it's health awareness month, but it's also my birth month. So I will be accepting all gifts. Just message me for my PO box information.
Um,
I'll send that out. Um,
you
so,
have a very large gift coming here soon. Okay.
ooh, I'm so excited.
Um, uh, grandbaby.
I do. You're right. Yeah. So my oldest child, Trinity, she'll be 24 this month. She's expecting, and she will have a son this month. So I'm very excited. Um, so
I
yeah, from
heard you
that
named it
moment
Kyle.
on,
I
yeah.
heard you named it
Well,
Kyle.
I don't think his name will be Kyle. I can't say his name publicly because she has not told anyone. So
It's Kyle,
after he's
everybody.
born, I will share that, but it's the most perfect name. He's going to be so precious. So after he's born, I will be known as Lolly. Casey is going to be Pop. So that's pretty perfect. Casey Nehmer is my husband. We're getting ready to celebrate our year anniversary. So exciting. Um, let's see. My second child is his name is Dayton. He is 20. He'll be 21 this year. Fun times.
Right.
Yeah, Casey has five children. So Deacon is 20, Cameron is 17, Jack is 15, Sully is 12, Lennon is 8. So we are very busy all the time.
Uh,
There's not a lot of downtime, really. I love the kids. They're awesome. It A lot of times people are so nervous, like getting into a relationship with someone that has children, and they're awesome. So I'm
uh,
so excited, so happy. They're amazing. So let's see. I don't know how to start like my
hey,
story.
you know what? You didn't. Like I said, your outline just said, "Hello, my name is."
Yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't.
So,
I'm like, how messed up do I want the world to know that I am? Like, I've been
well,
through.
okay,
I
so
have
I can
lived
tell
some
you right
life,
now that at least 6 people that are watching right now
right?
um, will respect you no matter how much you
Well,
think your
thank
life
you.
is messed up.
Yeah.
So, I
It's
mean, just roll with it. You know?
okay. Okay. So, I've I think I have lived with anxiety so long. It's just a part of me, and it's almost I feel like I it makes me thrive like under pressure, like even though at the time whenever it's happening, like you hate it and you're like this sucks and I can't do anything, like I need that nudge sometimes, like
That
and I'm more productive in that way. It's really messed up and really weird, but I think it's just because I've held on to things for so long that it's just that's who I am. Um, but I can remember like being a nervous kid. Um, but it was like you didn't talk about that stuff. It unfortunately, and that's so dumb, and I don't know why that is ever a thing. Like you should be able to go to your parents or your trusted person, and be like,
Hmm.
"Hey, I'm feeling this." But yeah, at a very young age, I did develop trichotillomania, I think is how you say it, and it's hair pulling.
All right.
So yeah, so I would pull out my eyelashes, I would pull out my eyebrows, I would pull not necessarily so much hair, um, but that has always been like a really stressful thing for me. And
Hmm.
like when I'm stressed, I do like I notice like I'll kind of start and I'm like, no, stop it, don't do it. But that is why I have no eyebrows. So they're very nicely tattooed on. Um, thank you to whoever invented face tattoos. You're amazing. Um, so yeah, I always remember that as the start of my anxiety.
Yeah,
Um,
that seems to be a common thing too. Like, I know a lot of
yeah,
people that do that, and dealing with their anxiety. Um,
yeah, yeah. And I feel like too, like unfortunately for our age group and our like generation, I feel like you just didn't talk about it. And so you kind
yeah,
of had to hold it in and had to keep it to yourself. And I'm so thankful now. I feel like even though social media is a butthole sometimes, like it can be really good for other people.
yeah,
Like, as an example, this podcast, like someone coming on talking about stuff like maybe I'm not so weird. I have that in common with this person, or oh, I have a friend that, has this too. Like, it just makes you more relatable, I feel like.
yeah.
So, yeah, but thanks for giving me the opportunity to come on today. So,
I mean, thank you for wanting to do it. I tell people all the time that this isn't just my podcast. It's everybody's podcast.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and that's my thing is that I don't worry about who's watching. You know, I worry about, will one person get the message. You know,
yeah, yeah.
especially
And that's,
with this month, with Mental Health Awareness Month.
yes.
Um,
It's so important. And I
yeah,
I try to be that way all the time, like just authentically myself, even though I'm freaking weird. I don't care. Like my people will find me. Like it's fine.
they do, and
Yeah,
it's funny. Like you draw the people that you want in your life to your life.
for
I mean,
sure.
and I think we all do that. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, anxiety is a bitch. I hate to
It
say that.
is. Yeah,
It's a
it
bitch.
is.
So let
I wasn't sure like what our limits were on cussing. I'm gonna try to not
it's okay. It's okay to
okay.
cuss.
Okay.
This podcast is not related to any type of mental health organization or religion or anything like that. So you can cuss
Yeah.
and talk about God in the same sentence. Um,
Okay. Yeah. I think
you know,
yeah, I have always said God is proof that my life is my life is proof that God has a sense of humor.
yeah, right.
Because sometimes I feel like he's like, "Oh, things are going good for you. Buckle up, buttercup. Like watch this." So,
Yeah, he puts little bumps in the road sometimes to slow you down. I totally
oh,
get
for
that.
sure.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, mental health. I think my biggest journey with mental health probably started when I had Trinity. So, um, when I got pregnant with Trinity, I was 20. Um, and I knew everything. My parents tried to, guide me as best they could, but when you're 20, like, you know it all. You don't need to listen to your parents.
yeah.
Just kidding. You probably should listen to your parents.
You should.
So, yeah. So, um, I had Trinity 2 days after I turned 21. So, I'm not a huge drinker, really. There have been times in my life where I have, but just always makes me feel like crap. So,
Uh,
yeah, it's not worth it for me. Like, my poop schedule is weird anyway. I don't need alcohol to make it worse. So, yeah. So, I wasn't like
Duly
looking forward
noted.
to. Yeah. So I wasn't looking forward to like going out and partying, but now I'm like, okay, I have this baby. And unfortunately, just the way the cookie crumbled, her dad and I were not together at the
Yeah.
time. Um, I say unfortunately because in your mind, whenever you are starting a family, you want that perfect little, like, here's my, me, my boo thing, and our little tiny boo thing. Like, you want that.
Yeah.
Um, it was never going to work between the two of us. And while I'm very thankful to her dad, because she's the best gift that I was ever given, ever. Um, that sucked. Like, it was horrible. It was really hard, like, going through that alone. And I did live with my parents whenever I had her. Um, but again, it's like, I'm in their house, and so it was very like my house, my rules type of
Yeah.
situation. And it was really hard because even though, here I am 20, 21, like, I know some people that know my dad wouldn't think that I was sheltered, but I feel like I was a very sheltered growing up. So I'm like, what do I do? Like, I have this baby. I'm responsible for this human life. Like, oh my gosh. So that was a struggle. And just like, all the postpartum stuff that you deal with, like, it's, it was very hard. It was a very hard time in my life. And, having said that, though, my parents are both very amazing people, and I feel like I wouldn't be the person that I am today if it weren't for both of them equally. So thanks, mom and dad. Um, but yeah, that it was really hard. And then so it's like I'm responsible for this tiny human, but I have to keep my shit together because I can't show weakness
Yeah.
because I won't say which parent said this, but one of my parents said depression is in your head. No, it's not. It's not.
Mm.
That's dumb. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's not how that works. But so yeah, so that it was very, very hard. Um, then, I finally get my own apartment, and it was hard because I was in like a income based apartment complex that has now become a very shady living situation. So, but I have my own place and I'm doing it. I worked full time when I was, since I was 16, I have worked a job. Um, but I'm working full time. I'm raising my daughter. I'm doing the thing. And then, like any young woman, I think boys are cute and I still like them, and I'm gonna have a little fun.
Yeah.
So I did meet this young man. We went to the same school. He was really an amazing, amazing person. And I thought he was my true love. And we had such good times. I'm doodling at the same time so that I don't start crying. But um,
Well,
yeah, this,
doodle away,
this,
okay? Doodle
yeah.
away.
This person was amazing. He treated Trinity like a queen. He was awesome. And when you're younger and you're in a relationship, sometimes when you don't have, that maturity level to where it should be, you say mean things to each other. And
Uh,
um, yeah, the last conversation I had with this person who at the time was my true love, we said mean things to each other. And then he passed away. Um, I I'm still friends with his mom. Um, I just feel like it was so fast, it was so quick, it was so everything that it should have been. It wasn't a physical relationship by any
Yeah.
means. It wasn't that way. It was just he was freaking awesome.
That
And
that had to be that had to be really hard. It's like
yeah,
you you
it was
you, you find what you think is the one, and
yeah,
then you have those ups and downs, and then to go through that,
it was
for 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 your
devastating.
for your last words to be
Yeah,
harsh, you know,
yeah,
and
it
then
was
next thing
terrible.
you know, they're passed.
We gotta get a Kleenex. Hang on.
Sorry,
Oh
did
my
not make.
gosh.
See, your doodling did not
Okay.
work. Okay, your doodling did not work. Um,
Nope, it
but
doesn't
yeah,
work.
I don't know. I that makes me think about my buddy Richard who committed suicide. Is that you know, but what my last words to him were, and they weren't mean, but that just it makes you think when stuff like that happens. Is that
Yeah,
you have to
yeah,
watch. You never know what somebody's going through or this and that. I mean, or whatever happens in life. It's what how do I want to live my legacy? Do I want to
mm-hmm,
leave a legacy to where I'm the last words that somebody hears from me or like screw you
yeah,
or something negative.
right,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
that had to be pretty hard.
yeah.
Pretty,
It was awful, and it wasn't like Trinity knew him too. So it's like, how do you navigate that with a little toddler? Like
yeah,
it was so hard. So and I feel like in my mind, that person is on this pedestal. So
yeah,
now every relationship I'm comparing to that. So they were not successful.
yeah.
I feel like I kind of was like a relationship hopper. Like things get hard, bye, I'm out. Like so yeah, it was not that was not fun. That was terrible. But time goes by. I meet Dayton's dad. We have Dayton. We did get married. Um, I feel like at that time we were just two friends that got married because we were having a baby.
Hmm.
That doesn't work. So
Does not work
yeah,
whatsoever.
yeah. So but the cool thing about Dayton's dad is that his name is David. Hi, David, if you ever see this. Um, we always made the promise to each other, hey, because he also had a daughter. So we are never going to be at each other's throats. We're always going to be friendly
Mm.
for Dayton. So, gosh, sorry, it's like a faucet. So, so I'm like, I so respect him for that. And we still to this day maintain a friendly relationship. And Dayton's 20. So
Yeah.
it's wonderful. So that was, I mean, it sucked going through a divorce with two young kids now. That sucked, but I survived it. Um, I did have, several doctor visits where, I had to get put on medication, and it's so humbling because, I'm growing up, thinking, okay, this is weakness. I can't show weakness, but my mind, I'm starting to realize, hey, this is a thing. Like, it's okay. And
Hmm.
medication doesn't have to be forever for certain things. Um, but yeah, this is where another grief story of mine comes in. So before David and I got divorced, his brother tragically passes away. He had lived with us for a time, so the kids got to know him very well. His name was Bobby. He was a character. I see a lot of him in Dayton now. Just he was something else. He was um, really wanted to get into rapping and music and like music production and stuff like that. So now that I see Dayton starting to play guitar and play instruments and wanting to do some of those things, like that's pretty cool. Um, but at the time, we get a knock on our door in the middle of the night, and it's David's dad. Bobby is dead.
Mm.
He's at the hospital. Someone needs to go identify him. I'm not doing it. David looks at me, and He's just is like the whitest white I've ever seen a human, and I'm like, I got this.
Yeah.
So I had to go. I had to identify him. It was very traumatic. It was a surreal experience. It was gut wrenching. It was weird. It was so weird. But the hospital staff was really amazing, and it's not their first time. They've been through stuff like this before, so they're
Yeah.
like, take all the time you need. And I just stood there staring at this body of this person that I have spent so much time with and bonded with, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I felt like I wasn't even in my body. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Um
I couldn't fathom. I've never um, have done that. I mean, I've watched people pass away, and that was hard enough. Like,
yeah,
but I could never fathom going to the hospital and having to
it
just
was
deal with that.
yeah. And it was almost like, thankfully he didn't die in a tragic, messy way. He looked like he was sleeping.
Yeah.
But it was hard. It was so hard. Unfortunately, addiction sometimes wins, and it takes people way too young. So that sucked. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Some addictions are hard to break, and some people don't know how to ask for help. So
Yeah, for sure. And I think too, sometimes when you're so far in it, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, if they're also in it, it's so hard to dig yourself out.
yeah,
And he just couldn't. And it was awful. It was really awful. So then I'm like, in my mind, I start feeling like, wow, don't get close to anybody because they're just gonna leave you. Like, so, and I know that's so silly, but that really affected me in that way. And so, then, as time goes on, David and I, we separate and we get divorced. And um, then, there's more stupid, unnecessary relationships that I subject myself and my children to. Um, it just kind of, I feel like my life snowballed. Um, One good thing, though, that I maintain throughout all of this is knowledge, and I go to college. So, fun fact about Angie, I have 3 associate's degrees. I use none of them in my current job. So, don't do what I did and just keep going. Really think about what you want to do before you go to college.
so what are they in?
So my first associate's degree, I got before I had Trinity, elementary education.
I can see you
Then
being a teacher.
then I had Trinity, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. So, it's a lot. It's a lot of kids. Then I have an associate's degree in surgical technology. So, surgical technologist is the person in the operating room that hands the surgeon the
Scalpels,
equipment and the
everything else.
tools.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you have to like know your shit, and you have to know like what that surgeon needs before he or she knows they need it. Um, and that's very fun, but it's kind of one of those high stress things. Like, okay, this is someone's life. You have to know. And I thrived, and I did really good. I worked for a little while in an eye surgery place. I had some really awesome coworkers there, and it was really fun. Unfortunately, it was just too far away from home. It was like over an hour drive for
hmm.
me every day, and just having little kids, like I couldn't do it, and it mentally did take a toll, just the traveling. And it was in a different time zone, so that was always fun going to work because you get there at the
Yeah,
same
coming home
time.
sucked.
Coming home sucked. So yeah, so that was awful. And then my third one is actually in nursing. Um, that was the hardest thing I have ever put myself through. Nursing school sucked. It was a nightmare, but I did it and I passed. But I could not pass the state boards. I failed it 3 times by one section,
Mm.
all 3 times. So, yeah. Um, throw in another marriage that we really don't need to talk about. So, another failed marriage, failed relationship. Um, throw in a miscarriage. That's fun.
Yeah,
Said
those are
no
hard.
one ever. It was terrible. Um, but it's pretty cool. Like I've got someone up there looking out for me every day, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think, and that's the thing that like I want people to know about is that there's always somebody out there looking out for us, whether or not it's God, whether or not it's whoever your higher power is.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
like there's somebody out there. Like I know that because of the crap that I went on in my life, I know that there's somebody keeping me grounded. And
Oh,
it's,
for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it's my wife. Yes, okay, let's put it that way. And B, it's my son, but and my friends, but there's somebody out there for everybody. So
Yeah.
and it's whatever you feel like that person is.
Oh,
Um,
for sure. Yeah.
and that's hard for some people to believe because you know, when you start talking about God and higher powers and stuff like that, it scares people away.
Yeah. And I think in my experience, like growing up, like we always went to church, and it wasn't until I was an adult that I realized it's about the relationship that you have with your creator.
Yep.
You don't have to go to a building every Sunday or every Wednesday night or whatever. You don't have to be in a church building. Like, church is what you make it, and it's your relationship with your creator, your higher power, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
For me, it is God. I do believe in God. I still depend on the Sunday morning streaming church. Just
I mean,
because the
you live a
church,
busy when you live a busy life, it's
yeah,
out there.
and the church I really love, Harvest Church in Washington. I love that church so much. They are awesome, and I always tune in on Sunday mornings because I don't want to get up really early and drive there from
Yeah.
where I live. So, yeah,
And
yeah,
I was just talking to Chris about that over the weekend. I would love to find some type of church, but like it's so hard because like my God loves everybody and doesn't judge people based on their
yep,
beliefs or their sexuality, things of that nature. And so it's like
yeah,
I don't want to go like, hey, I don't want to go to the church that I grew up in because I know their beliefs, but
right,
but
yeah.
I also don't want to go to a everybody has probably seen the Righteous Gemstones. Okay,
I've
I
never seen
well
it.
I don't want to go to that church. Okay, like I
Yeah.
don't want to go to one of those like where it feels like I'm at a rock concert church.
Oh, yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But yeah, like I told her today. I said, I said like I'm getting to that point in my life now to where I feel like that part is missing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even though
Yeah,
I
no.
believe I believe in a higher power, I just feel like that something is missing in my life pertaining to that. And hey,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be there every single Sunday. I'm not gonna go on Easter or Christmas just because it's a holiday. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's good for people to have in their lives. Because
Oh,
it,
for
it
sure.
keeps
Yeah.
it keeps us grounded, and that's what we need.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
life sucks enough. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like it it sucks
100%.
enough to where you need that in your life. So
Yeah.
kudos for you for finding that and having that
Thanks.
that will to do it.
I try. I try. And I try just to not get in my head about it.
Hmm.
And I know that my relationship is mine and it doesn't involve anyone else.
That
So I don't really, other people are going to have opinions and everything, but it's whatever. I know what I believe, so I'm good. But which leads me to the big one that I want to get off my chest and talk about. Um so I have some, like, just these strings of relationships, and I'm like, okay, like, I I really just have to find my person. I have to find my person. And I date around. I have some relationships that kind of last, but they're not like good relationships.
Hmm.
Just like dating people for the sake of wanting to be with someone, wanting to have that connection. So then I get introduced to this person, have this relationship, we get engaged. Um, the we were talking about something earlier. You used a phrase earlier before the show started, wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yep.
This person was the embodiment of that. To the point of I'm now looking at attending a Pentecostal church. Um, I'm ain't no Pentecostal. Like, no offense. I wear makeup. I am not wearing skirts, and like I'm starting to like change my personality to fit this person's personality. And I
Yeah.
know, and I recognize it, but I keep going with it. Like, that's so dumb. Like, it anyway, so
Never change for anybody.
yeah.
You only change for yourself.
Yeah, you have to, we are only here once, and the however we're made, you're made the way you are for a reason, and you need to shine bright because we're all so unique and so amazing. Like, don't dim your sparkle for other people. It's so terrible, and it's just a bad choice. Like, come talk to me if you're thinking about doing that. Come over here, talk to me. I'll talk you off the ledge because I did it and it was stupid.
Yeah.
Um, things get out of control really fast, and before I know it, I'm in a domestic violence type of relationship.
Mm.
And to the point of I was I don't know how to say it without really just saying it. This is
Just say
hard.
it.
Um, I was taken advantage of,
Mm.
um, in a sexual manner a lot, um, against my will a lot, um, to the point where, and I may lose friends over this, but you know what? This is my story and it's worth telling, so I'm gonna tell it.
Yeah.
Um, I was pregnant, and I was like, oh shit. And not that I am, not that I'm afraid to have the baby. Like, that's not it. Because I know I can do it because I'm an awesome mom.
Hmm.
Just knowing that I am going to be tied to this person who is probably going to kill me. I don't want this person to um, try to take advantage of my daughter at all.
Yeah.
Um, so I would never leave her alone with this person, just because that was a real genuine fear. Um, so I talked to a person that I trust with my life, and she knows who she is. Her name is Erin. She's really awesome. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to do this. Um, what do I do? Like, I need advice. And I don't know. Like, here's what's really going on behind closed doors. And I just tell her, like, I'm being held down against my will. I'm being raped. I am just not happy. This is not healthy. I can't be this version of myself because that's not fair to me. It's not fair to my children. Like, what do I do? And at that time in the state of Indiana, we had Planned Parenthood. And so I made an appointment and I went and I terminated a pregnancy. And that was a very hard decision for me. I used to be in Right to Life, the young, naive Angie who had never had sex. I Right to Life is very important, and
Mm-hmm.
I understand what they are preaching and what their purpose is and what their point is. But until you're in the position where you have to choose whether you're gonna live or you're gonna be like, okay, it's fine if I get murdered by this person. You can't talk to me about shit. Like it was hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Um, it was so scary to see like the protesters and to hear the horrible things they say to people. Um, it's terrible. It's awful. That sucked. With that being said, if anyone is ever in a position to where they need those services, I got you, boo. Like, I'll drive you to wherever you need to go and I will take you and I'll protect you. Because my friend was there for me and it was scary. It was really scary. Um
I hate you now, by the way.
yeah. I told you I'd make you cry.
Uh, I don't know.
Um
It's like that's the thing. Um, us as men, I feel that there's certain things that we have a right to, and there's certain things that we don't.
mm,
We don't carry children in us. I
yeah.
and my stance on abortion is different than other people's stance on abortion. Um, yes, I'm adopted, so heck yeah,
Yeah.
adoption is great. But if it's a life and death situation,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you have to do what you have to do. And it's hard for some people. It sucks that those Planned Parenthood and stuff like that has gone away. You know, um, it's made it harder for women these days. I feel,
Well, and it's so
to
dangerous too, because then what are we supposed to do? Like when you're in a situation like that, or whatever the situation is. Um,
and look, you even got Brian over here crying.
sorry, Brian.
It's
But
it's hard for that because you don't.
yeah,
And sorry guys, I may lose friends over this too, but you have no right to say anything,
well,
because you're
and
not
yeah,
you're not that person. Yes, you can offer support all day long, but until you have that, you don't know. And
yeah,
and so I think you did what was needed. I think you did
thank you.
what
Thank
was
you.
right, because as I say to people, um, it's better to have you 6 feet above than 6 feet below.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, for sure.
and
Yeah.
in those domestic violence situations, you have to do what's right.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
and it wasn't just me. Like I had to protect my kids
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Um, so in that moment, it was like I feel like I had been living life like with a filter on, and then it was like, wow, I'm in charge of my own shit. I can do what I need to do. Like I am awesome. I don't have to stay in shitty relationships. I don't have to be friends with everybody. Like I can
yeah.
keep my circle small. Like I get to choose. And It's like your body is your body and it's your choice, and nobody should be allowed to govern what you do. Period. Period. So,
Exclamation mark.
yeah. So I got out of that relationship alive and safe. And it was scary. It was um, like protective order type of situation. Like it was kind of
Yeah.
scary. Um, a little over a year, I think about a year ish, almost 2 years later, um, that person got murdered by
Mm.
his child, and it was self defense because that person is an abuser and was an abuser. And I was like,
Can we chalk that up to karma?
I mean, yeah, I was like, holy shit. Like, that could have been me. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God. And not like, not to make
Yeah.
someone else's like trauma mine, but I was like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Because
yeah,
you got, I mean, you don't know what would have happened in that situation.
right,
You know,
right.
I mean, that's the thing. Abuse, especially somebody who's going through abuse, can toll on their mindset. You know,
Yeah,
and and
yeah,
and and had you been there, no telling what would have happened. You know,
yeah, yeah. It was
I mean, it
rough.
it it it's. I'm not gonna say that it sucks to hear that he died from being murdered by his own kid, but
Yeah, I don't think it sucks. I
I don't
think
think
that,
I don't think
yeah,
so.
and
I
that
hate to
makes me
be
sound like a really big
I hate to be
a-hole.
that person, but yeah, you're right. It
Yeah,
doesn't
but
suck.
like,
Karma is
yeah,
karma. You know.
yep, yep. So yeah, that it. I wasn't kidding when I told you I've lived a lot of life and I've been through a lot of weird stuff.
Well,
Um,
I think that you coming on and sharing your story has helped those of us who have already respect you and loved you just a little bit more respect you and love you. You
aw,
know, I mean, that's why you keep your
yeah,
circle with who you
yeah,
keep it with. You know.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, okay, I'll sum up the rest really quick.
Oh no, take
Because
your time.
there is a couple more topics that are really important that I feel like people need to hear about. So then like after that ended, that's when I really started digging deep, like, okay, what is my purpose here? Like, there's more to life than this. Like, what am I missing? And through late night scrolling on Facebook and Instagram, like, I found Reiki, and Reiki is like a Japanese practice. It's been around forever, and it's basically energy healing.
All right.
And so like I know yoga is like cool and can help you. So I'm like, okay, this is like yoga for my energy, you know? And so I really get into it. I'm really interested. And then I find some like-minded people, and I am a Reiki master. So I don't claim to know everything because I don't, but I know that we all have the power within ourselves to heal ourselves in that way, like energy healing.
Yeah.
Um, you just have to be willing to do the work, and sometimes the work really freaking sucks and it's hard. So,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, you're back.
Y-
I thought I lost you for a minute.
oh
Oh
gosh,
shoot.
yeah, yours like spun,
Yeah.
but yeah. So then COVID happens, and I'm like, I don't know if you know this about me, but I am like a very social butterfly type of person.
No way.
And I can
Really?
talk to anybody.
Oh,
So
and by the way,
whenever, yeah,
Charms is correct when he says this. Uh, it is. There's
okay,
no
go
time
another
limit,
third. Okay, I got you,
and,
Brian. I got you.
and it's not my show, Brian. It's
It's
everybody's
our
show. Okay,
show.
this is
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so, so COVID is weird because now all of a sudden, people are dying. It's scary. We don't know what the truth really is. We don't know what's happening. I live in southern Indiana. I'm
Yeah.
like, seeing these like bigger cities, like people are so affected, and I have family members that are doctors, and I'm like, one of my cousins, he actually was in Los Angeles, and he like was there on the front lines dealing with this, and it was so scary. And I'm just like, this is terrible, and so, we're doing the online grocery pickup, and we're,
We still do that,
strained.
by the way.
I love it. Casey hates it, but I love it. But
I love it.
for like your standard grocery items, I think it's awesome. For produce and stuff like that, I don't want anybody touching my bananas.
I mean,
Like, I'll go get them
I,
myself. But
I don't eat vegetables much, so our standard is anything that goes in the air fryer, pretty much. And
Kyle,
I love it. They deliver it to me. I just put it up.
right?
I don't have to go there because I get really bad anxiety at the grocery store, like
Oh,
terrible.
same. Yeah.
And I hate going to the grocery store. My wife will attest to this. Like I'll go to the grocery store for like 5 things, and it'll take me like forever to get those
Yeah.
5 things because
Oh, I hate
my
it.
anxiety is that bad. Like
Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah.
I absolutely despise it. Casey, he loves going through every aisle, looking at everything. And I'm like, dude, no, like we have a list. Just get this shit on the list and let's go. Let's get out of
Yeah.
here. So it cracks me up. But anyway, so what was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. Okay. COVID. So, I don't know if, I don't know really what happened. I don't really need to know I don't, it's not my business part of
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Um, but my parents, after being married for 42 years, were getting a divorce. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I'm 40 and you're gonna split up? Like, no, what the
Yeah.
heck? Let me tell you, I don't know if it's better to go through your parents' divorce as a child or an adult. Either way, it sucks. And
What
I
it
know
was
not every relationship is meant to go. Yeah,
that is
go ahead.
almost true.
um, just going through that as a 40-year-old, it rocked my world. I was like, wow, okay, the couple that I have looked up to my whole life, like how much of that was a lie? How much of it was true? Like you can ask yourself all these questions and go through all this, and
Hmm.
it really effed me up in a weird way and that I was not expecting. And so now, I'm already having like COVID anxiety. Now everything else, it's like triple. I gained 60 pounds. I'm still working on it. I've lost 9 pounds, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I'm just like, okay, this is weird. Like, this is gonna be my new normal. Like, and then of course, me and my sister, we try to joke and we're like, so 2 Christmases? Like, and we're adults, whatever.
Yeah.
But we just try to make light of the situation. And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like, I feel like my parents now, like, they're working on their own versions of happy. And
Hmm.
that is what is important. Um, but it was weird and it like kind of gutted me. So then I'm at this point now where I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna be alone forever because that's easier. And I won't have to put up with anybody else's bullshit except for my own. And I'm good. And then through the process of my awesome Reiki group that I found, we would meet every month. We would, you know, we really went on a spiritual journey together. There are a handful of us, and they know things about me, and I know things about them that it's just like that. They were my puzzle pieces. Like they're awesome people. I love them so much, and so that is when my healing really started. And if you've ever experienced Reiki, it's you make it your own experience. So
Mm.
I feel like I with my group was to the point where we would have these sessions called Super Reiki. And so we're all Reiki practitioners getting together to work on each other. So it's like you walk in the room and it's like electricity, like you can feel the energy in there. Um, I had an experience where I it sounds made up and it sounds weird and that's fine, but you should try it because it's awesome. But um, I went to like almost like another realm. I was in another
Mhm.
realm and the person that I first talked about in my story that died at a young age, that was my first true love. I was able to see him, I was able to talk to him, and it was so healing that I really don't have any words to describe that what happened, but it was really cool. Um, there is a giant bug in here and it just zoomed by my head. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
But that really scared the crap out of me. Oh my God. Um, I can see it now. It's on the ceiling. But that was weird. So then I was like, I don't know, I healed that part of my heart that for so long was scarred and was ugly and was gross, and it just started to heal. And I was like, okay, that's what this is like. And I'm like, I'm doing my thing, I'm doing great. I am a single Pringle. I am good. I am just like, I gotta, get Trinity through high school and then Dayton through high school. And then we can move wherever we want. They can come with me if they want. They can go
Hmm.
wherever they want. And I'm just gonna do my own thing. And I'm gonna travel and I'm going to, you know what? I'm gonna join a beard club. That would be cool. Like, Dad has a lot of good friends um, that he's met, and I know some local people. So I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna see if they'll let me join their club. So at the time, whenever Mad Viking Indiana was a thing, um, I knew
Well,
Chris.
it was a thing twice. The first
Yeah,
inception or the second
the
inception.
second time. Yeah. So I knew Chris and Corey Wilson, and I knew Wayne and Stacey Patmore. And I'm like, okay, they're nice people. They're not
Mhm.
annoying. I like to be around them. I'm gonna reach out. And I didn't know Stacey as well as I know Stacey now. So I reached out to Corey and I'm like, hey, I'm interested in maybe like joining your club or like hanging out with you guys or whatever, like there's so many people that I've met through the bearding community that are like family to me. And so I want that. Like I need that. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. We have this meeting coming up actually in Jasper. That's kind of close to you." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's like 40 minutes away. Like I can
Mhm.
come. That'd be fun." So I drive to Jasper that day, me and Trinity, and it was at this Mexican restaurant. And talking to Chris, talking to Corey, having fun. Wayne and Stacy are there. I'm talking to Stacy a little bit more, kind of getting to know her.
Is it the Mexican restaurant that we went to after your wedding?
Different one, different one. It would have been so serendipitous if it was the same one, but it was a different
Right?
one. Um, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to Michigan next weekend for a comp. There's room. I'm sure Casey wouldn't mind." And I'm like, "Who is Casey? I don't know who this
Uh,
Casey person is." And they're like, "Oh, you don't know Casey? He's so nice. He's like a good guy. He's a good dad. He's really funny." And I'm just like, "No, I have no idea who you're talking about."
yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, that's weird. Yeah, we'll have to get you guys together so you can know, like, because he's in our group." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever, don't think anything of it." I wasn't able to make it to the Michigan trip. So then the next thing that I decide, I work in a financial institution and we have this thing called Jeans Days. I work in the back office. I'm not around customers, so every day is a jeans day. But HR would let you organize a jeans day, and then whoever wanted to wear jeans on the day you picked, they paid $5, and then the $5, everybody gathers it, and it goes to whatever charity you pick.
Uh,
So I was like, oh, okay, they're doing this hygiene drive. I bet I can raise some money, and they can use it for their hygiene drive. That's kind of cool. So I'd like to do that. That's an easy thing I can do for these people. So I organized this. I forget the amount of money. I have a picture of it in the living room, but it was over $300. And so I contact Stacy and I'm like, "Hey, I did this thing at work. I raised some money for your beard club. Can you guys come and we'll take a picture like with the big check so they can post it on the Facebook page for the bank and then you guys can post it on your Facebook page." And she was like, "Yeah, I better get all the officers to come. So let me text everybody and I'll text you and pick a day that works." And I'm like,
uh-huh.
okay, that's fine. I mean, if only one or two of you can come, that's fine. She's like, "No, I really think we all need to come." And I'm like, okay. I wasn't It was going way over my head that her and Wayne had already talked to Casey. "Hey, do you know Angie Jones?" No, doesn't know me. "Do you know Jim Jones?" I don't know who Jim Jones is. I've heard of Jim Jones, don't know who he is.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious to me. Who doesn't know who Jim Jones is in the bearding community? Honestly, Casey Nehmer was the only person who had never met my dad. So we all gather at the bank that I work at. We take the picture with the check, and from that moment, that was 3 years ago. May 16th, 3 years ago, was the first day that we met. We had our first official date, May 18th, and 2 years later, we were married, and now it's a year after that, and life is so good. And it's not without daily struggles. I still deal with anxiety like crazy. I have crazy stupid spirals that I go down. Like I know that Casey's leaving for work, and it's very important to me. Like, I have to tell him bye every day when he leaves for work. Like, and he has to tell me when he's leaving. And then some days I'm like, "Hey, can you text me when you get to work?" "Yeah, why?" And I'm like, "Because you might have a wreck and die and I'll never talk to you again." Like, just stupid crap. Like, I spiral out of control so
Uh-oh.
bad sometimes. And he's like, "Dude, what is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then,
Yeah.
like, just dumb stuff. Like, Holiday World is a theme park that's close to us. And I'm like, "I kind of want to ride that ride, but what if it goes off the rails and I die?" Just stupid stuff.
That used to
Like,
be called like
it's
Santa
unnecessary.
Claus, Santa Claus Land or
Yes.
something like that. All right.
Yes.
Got it.
So I don't know. I guess really my takeaway is life is hard and it sucks sometimes, but you just got to keep going. And like, your life is important and you're here for a reason. And you may never know your reason, but you're here, and you're here only one time. And so try to make the most of it. Don't be a butthole to people. And today's a good day to have a good day.
Hey,
So
that's right.
yeah.
Because you saw that I put that in the post. I'm like, Eric,
Yes.
look, she used to say this all the time,
I know.
and
I need to get back to doing my daily videos. I used to do videos, and I had a bully. I had a bully that was like, "Why do you do these videos? It's so dumb. No one ever watches them." And it got in my head, and so I stopped doing them. So maybe I'll start doing them again.
well, screw that bully. Keep on doing them.
Yeah, I need to get back on
Yep.
it because they do make me happy. And sometimes I just want to get on there and talk about nothing just to start a conversation. Like, maybe that's the only time someone smiles that day. Like, if I can be a little bit of sunshine, I want to be that.
Yeah.
And I want to be like approachable, and like people know like I don't have a perfect life. Like, I'm a weirdo, man, but I've been through a lot of stuff, and maybe somebody's going through something, and that's how they can relate to me. And if I can help one person, it's all worth it.
Yeah, like I had that happened to me today at work. I work outside. Um, I'm outside for 8 hours of the day, and I'm at this house, and the homeowner's having some work done, and I'm talking to him, and like I could just tell he was having a bad day. And so I brought up the podcast, and he just starts like pouring his life out to me, and I'm like,
Aw.
and here I am, I'm trying to think about work because I'm trying to get this done, but this guy is like sitting here like telling me, and I told him, I was like, look, check out the podcast. You
Yeah,
know,
he
I
needed
said, I
you in that
said,
moment.
I said, and talk about the way you feel. You know, I mean, because he gone through some some rough stuff in his life, but like I never realized really like how big of an impact that what I do on a monthly basis, a bi-weekly basis, that it
Yeah,
really does. It does matter. Um,
absolutely.
and
Yeah,
yeah, I never thought like that I would have a purpose. I struggled with that, but we all have a purpose in life. Your purpose is it's a great day to have a great day, and
it
I know
is.
that, and trust me, that there are some days when I don't want to uh, be the person I am today, you know, and
Yeah, yeah.
there have been some days where I've resorted back to the old Kyle, but my my
That's
friends
normal. We're
my friends
human.
who love and respect me have called me out about it and be like,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
guess what? You're not that guy anymore. Don't be that person. You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that like for you, you found that person. You know.
I think
Lo and
so.
behold,
Yeah.
you got set up, right?
Yeah.
You were magically being set up, but by your friends to find your forever. But I mean, I guess we find our forever when we least expect it.
Yep.
I mean, I never thought that I would be married. You know,
Yeah.
I never thought that I would be a father. You know,
Right.
those things happened. Albeit the father thing happened before the marriage thing.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing though how what we need in our life happens at the right times
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
in our life. Um, so I applaud you for that, and I think that it's brave of you for coming on and sharing your story.
Thanks.
What is Brian saying? Oh, well, that is true. If your friends don't call you on your bullshit, are they really your friends? No,
No.
no. Because trust me, I have acquaintances, and then I have true friends,
Yep.
and but yeah, it's like I wish more people were brave enough to talk about what they're going through, but I get it. It's hard, you know.
It is hard. Yeah.
It's
And I
it,
think,
it's hard, and you don't want to be judged
yeah, that
based
was my
on those
biggest thing.
facts.
Like, I'm afraid, like, okay, now I've said some things like, if I lose friends, they really weren't my friends.
No,
And I feel like that's why I couldn't write it down. Writing it down was so hard. It just had to come out.
yeah.
However, it was going to come out. I
Uh,
couldn't plan it.
So sometimes that's the best way to do things is don't plan it,
Yeah.
you know, and you just let it go, because you never know, like I don't plan stuff in life. I hate planning. My wife is a planner. I am not. I'm like a fly by the seat of my pants type of guy.
Oh,
But
see,
but
I'm a planner. I have to have a plan. I have to have a list. And it
no.
was so hard. What? Casey's not a planner. Casey's not a planner. Trinity's in here now.
Oh.
Yeah,
Casey's
it's
not a
like,
planner.
oh my gosh, sometimes, like, let's say, for example, we're going to the movies. Trinity and I both like to be there. We want to see every trailer. We want to have time to get snackies. We want to,
Uh,
you got to get your seat. You got to get all comfortable. You got to go to the bathroom. Casey's like, the movie theater, for reference, the movie theater is like a mile and a half from our house, maybe.
all right.
He's like, oh, we don't have to leave until 5 till. And I'm like, oh, no. That's
you're
not going
gonna
to
miss.
work.
You're gonna miss all the previews for the upcoming movies.
Yeah.
The snack line
Oh
might
my
be a mile
gosh.
long. You're gonna miss your popcorn.
Right. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah. We are opposite on things, but I think it just works out because we kind of balance each other out. But
So are we. Me and my wife are total opposites, but she keeps me grounded. I
yeah.
guess you would say. I mean, there are some days where I do go off the rails. Okay, but she keeps me grounded, and I think that's what we need now. And my friends keep me grounded. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
one of my good friends, Brian, and I have a bad time with this. I don't check up on my friends often. I have a bad time with it, and I need to do it more often. But one person that I talk to on a weekly basis is Brian. You know, so
Because he's cool.
I'm saying this to everybody. You know, check up on your friends. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
get
it's
really bad
hard.
at that too. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
it's very hard. You
I
know.
hyper fixate on, like, selfishly, like, for example, work right now is a little bit stressful. I work in a
Yeah.
financial institution and we just had a big conversion and it's a lot. There's a lot going on. And it's, I don't know. Sometimes I just hyperfixate on, like, okay, I have to get this done. I have to do this.
Yep.
Everything else and everyone else, like, whatever. And I'm really bad about, like, sometimes I feel like I'm a bad friend, and I know that I'm not a bad friend, but I try to at least every day, contact the people that I need to contact and want to contact that
Yeah.
I need in my life.
It's hard. It's very hard. So I apologize to my friends for not reaching out like I should. You know, but some of you acknowledge me on Facebook, and that's good. That's the beautiful thing about Facebook. Even though
Yeah.
I really hate social media because it's not social.
It's
You know,
yeah.
like like
It's like you get a little snippet of whatever that person wants you to
yeah,
see. It's not real. It's fake. Like,
it's
nobody has a perfect life ever.
yeah.
Like, you have perfect moments, sure, but life is not really, that's not real.
So speaking of life, but before I let you go and enjoy the rest of your night, and you've said a lot during the podcast, but if there's something that you could say to somebody out there who might be struggling or who might be just not struggling, like whose life is okay, but right now they're just having a hard time, what would that be?
Oh gosh. Always keep fighting. Like, you're worth it. Like, you matter. Your story matters. You're awesome. Don't dull your sparkle for anyone. Um, Smile even when you want to cry. And even if you want to cry, cry. Like, it's normal. And fart if you have to.
Yes, because what a
Don't hold
great way
them
to
in. That's how you get shitty ideas. Don't hold them in.
what a great way to end that. Fart if you want to.
I mean, it
Fart
made
if you have
every
to.
single
Just fart.
person watching this
Yeah,
just smiled.
yeah.
So, yes, you're welcome. Love you guys.
Everybody farts. Okay, just do it.
Everybody farts.
Well, Angie, thank you for coming on. I'm gonna wrap up the show. I'm gonna kick you to the backstage, but I'll be with you in a few. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Kyle.
Well, that is it. Thank you for those of you who came on tonight to listen and watch Angie's story, and thank you to those who will listen and watch this coming up on replay. I have 2 more episodes for the month of March, or for the month of May. For March, Yeesh, that's where my mind is right now. My next episode is going to feature a young man who I met through one of my previous episodes. His name is Matthew Milner. He is a friend of Mallory Smith, who was on 2 episodes ago. He's going to come on and talk about his story. And then at the end of May, I'm going to have Miss Darla Bush on. She is one of the, I guess you would say, street organizers for Locking Arms for Suicide. And then she just created she just is a director of a newer organization. And let me find that name, and I'll let you know what that is. I have to look it up. But it is called all right. It is called Creating Community Connections. It is in Jasper, Indiana. So she'll actually be coming on talking about both those organizations, which I look forward to. And then June, who knows what June's going to be like. Like, June might be a hodgepodge of whatever. But thank you again for supporting this podcast. It gives me hope that this message is reaching people. Because this is my therapy. So thank you all again. If you want to come on the podcast and you want to share your story, or if you know somebody who might be a good podcast guest, reach out to me and reach out to my co-host, Jason Sewell, and we'll get you scheduled for an episode of the podcast. Again, it's a Mental Health Awareness Month. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, and just let them know that they matter, like my shirt says. All right, and have a nice day, everybody. See you in 2 weeks.